Imagine you want to start a company, but there's a law that forbids you from operating. What do? If you are Uber, you ignore the law. You fight the police, and you destroy $1 billion market until there is nothing left. Welcome to Uber's bloody war against the taxis. Uber is not just a transportation app. It is one of the most aggressive and controversial companies in the history of Silicon Valley. Today, we are going to discover how a man named Travis Kalanick used a scorched earth strategy to conquer the streets of the entire world and change the way you move forever. It all started on a snowy night in Paris. In 2008, Travis and his partner couldn't find a taxi. In that frustration, the idea was born. What if you could request a private car with just one tap on your phone? It seemed like a brilliant and simple idea. But there was a massive problem. The taxi market was a monopoly protected by strict laws and powerful politicians. In any other company, the founders would have given up or tried to negotiate. But Uber does not negotiate. They launched the app in San Francisco without asking anyone for permission. When the authorities sent orders for them to stop, Travis simply ignored them. He knew that if people loved the service, politicians would be afraid to ban it. Uber used tactics that looked like they came out of a spy movie. They created a secret software called Greyball. This program identified if the person requesting the car was a police officer or a government inspector. If it was, the app showed ghost cars or simply canceled the trip. They were deceiving the state in real time to continue operating illegally in hundreds of cities. But the war wasn't just technological. It was physical. In cities like Paris, London, and even Lisbon, taxi drivers went into revolt. There were general strikes. Uber cars flipped and burned, and violent clashes in the streets that looked like scenes from a civil war. The chaos was Uber's best advertising. The more taxi drivers protested and blocked roads, the more people downloaded the app to see what it was all about. The strategy was brutally simple. Burn billions of dollars in losses to offer rides so cheap that taxis couldn't compete. They wanted to lead their rivals to absolute bankruptcy to gain a total monopoly of the streets. Uber didn't just want a piece of the cake. They wanted the whole cake and the baker too. However, Travis Kalanick's toxic culture eventually turned against him. Scandals of harassment, industrial espionage, and theft of technology from Google began to emerge one after another. The founder who had built the empire through extreme aggression was forced to resign by his own investors. The monster he created became too big for him to control. Today, Uber is a public giant worth over $100 billion. They won the war of the streets, but the cost was the destruction of thousands of traditional jobs and the creation of the gig economy, where drivers often struggle to survive with minimal margins. Uber proved that in modern capitalism, sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. They changed the laws of the world through technology and convenience. They showed that an algorithm can be more powerful than a century-old union. And you? Do you still remember the last time you hailed a taxi by raising your arm in the street? Or has the Uber app already become an automatic reflex in your brain? Subscribe to Global Titans now, because in our next video we are going to talk about Amazon and Jeff Bezos' master plan to become the owner of everything that enters your house. Are you ready to see how the world's largest supermarket was built on the ashes of small bookstores? The system doesn't sleep, and we show you how it works. Are you ready for the next secret?